The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, go Cowboys!
This is Mick Shots, streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app. Now, here are Bill Jones, Savannah Humoller, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
Well, 2 out of 4 ain't bad. And a guy coming off the bench for us, Nate Newton, Savannah, and Mickey here on this Tuesday on Mick Shots in the SWBC podcast studio after we missed yesterday because we had a personnel problem.
Wow.
It was just going to be you and Savannah.
And we could have made this happen.
Well, you could have.
Yes.
I had a few people on Twitter reach out, and they were, hey, we thought you were going to hold down the show on Monday, and, you know, we're sorry, guys, but we're back today.
Next time it happens like that, we going to do this, Miss Savannah. we gonna make shots holler louder than it ever been shot. You know what I'm saying?
I'm here for it, Nate.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Well, we're glad to be here on this Tuesday, a player day off here at the Star. Nate's doing a little double duty today, and we appreciate you being here.
The players are what?
They're off today. It's Tuesday. Didn't you have Tuesdays off?
Yeah, they have to come in and work out at least, right?
They do that on Monday.
Come on. This is Eagles week, baby.
Don't be old school
Should
on
they
me
be
now.
here, Nate?
You know what? We would get a full day off. Thank you for that. But I would come in. I would be so nervous getting ready to face Jerome Brown, Reggie White, Seth Joyner, Clyde Simmons. I would be so nervous. Mm-hmm. So I would come in and just get an extra workout, you know what I'm saying? Just try to make sure my wind was right because, you know, I was a heavy drinker back then, Miss Savannah. Excuse me. Yeah.
Did it pay off?
Yes, it did a lot of times.
All right.
Yes, it did.
Just want to make sure
Coming in on your off day, you
doing
need it.
all that work for nothing, right? Yeah, we've got, we had personnel problems yesterday, but Bill Jones will be out for probably the majority of this week because he's in Arizona, Phoenix, for the Rangers World Series games.
Great. That's a great thing for the Ranger fans, and I know you guys are Ranger fans, and I'm happy for y'all.
You didn't watch last night?
Sir, I'm glad that you Ranger fans are really into it.
Wait, who do you like?
No one anymore. I used to be a Braves fan back in the Smokes days and the Glavine days, but I got here and I did a little radio and I was into the Rangers, and I was, because I think these are this Cowboy fans are number one, number two. I'm talking about loyalty. Rangers are number 2 in loyalty, and I don't know about the Mavericks in the hockey team where they fans rank out, but that's 1 and 2 right there. I know these fans went through stadium changes. A lot of years where the management wouldn't help the team, financially as far as getting better players. And they stuck through it all. So I'm happy for them. I'm not a Rangers fan, though, so I don't do the fake. I can't do the fake, even though Chuck Cooperstein would be mad at me, saying playoff anything is better than regular season anything. And I agree with you, but
Honestly, last night I was talking to a couple of people. It's just incredible the Dallas sports time right now.
Yes.
Just big time. With our win on Sunday, FC Dallas is in the first round of their playoffs against Seattle. We had the Mavs win their home opener this weekend. And then we had the Stars play last night. They won 5-3, and the Rangers win. So this is just a great weekend for Dallas sports.
Yes, it is.
As a matter of fact, everybody won last night except for FC Dallas.
Wow.
The Rangers won, the Mavericks won, the Stars won, the Cowboys won on Sunday. So, big weekend. But anyway, Bill's on assignment. Everson got called out of town. But we're here. So this is our first chance to talk about Cowboys 43, the Rams 20. And I wanted to get your guys' take on that game. If you want to go first, Savannah. I know you were there and keeping an eye on this game, along with your other job, right?
Yes, I was running around a lot of the game, but from what I saw, I was extremely impressed with CeeDee Lamb. He just was outstanding for us. 12 receptions, 158 yards, and 2 touchdowns. It doesn't get better than that right there. And I really loved his connection with Dak Prescott this game. And I know a few weeks ago there were some conversations about his ability to get the ball from Dak, and they were having a couple of those issues on the offensive side of the ball. But I really think he stepped up and just progressed week after week, and this clearly showed on Sunday.
Nate, did he do number 88 proud on Sunday?
Yeah, my thing is, I've always, from day one, when we decided not, remember that draft was supposed to have been for the Cowboys an all defensive draft. You can go in and look at the board, and the first 5 players were all defense. And CeeDee kept falling, and then people started doing the numbers. Oh, this guy going, this guy. Then CeeDee will fall to the Cowboys. I mean, it was on fire here in this region. And when he fell, the Cowboys didn't hesitate. So when you are that sure of a player that's fallen to you and how this kid have grown over the years, and like last year, I was telling people, give him a chance, give him an opportunity. And he grew and he grew. And so when this year, when he was disgruntled, I was glad. I hate to say this, don't sound good, but I was glad he was disgruntled. Get him the ball. Mick will tell you, I'm a believer. It's only 4 or 5 guys that gets all of the balls for me on this team, and everybody else, we'll get to you when we get to you. And I'm just so happy they connected. I am so happy.
I was impressed with the game plan.
Yes.
I don't know if it was a shift from what we've been seeing, but they had decided that they were going to attack the Rams throwing the football. And obviously it worked. And I thought the biggest thing that came out of this game, Dak had his season high, 304 yards total passing, 4 touchdowns, which was a season high, and his quarterback rating 133.7 was a season high, along with what Lamb put down. I asked Brandon Cooks after the game, what did this say about the capabilities of this offense? And he said, and I quote, he said, "We continue to grow that confidence in who we thought we could be." And if you think about what everybody thought this offense was going to be coming out of training camp, it's like they're going to put up 30, 40 points a game. Well, they sort of did, but there was games that, 3 of the last 4, they didn't play very well offensively. I know they beat New England badly, but you score 16 points against Arizona, 10 against in the loss to San Francisco, and then even though you beat the Chargers, it was 20 points. So finally it seemed like they got that passing game going. And if this team's going to be successful, that has to happen. And I know it's going to be a big test Sunday in Philadelphia against the Eagles. But I like what I saw from the offense. You got Lamb going. You got Cooks going. You got the tight end going. Nice catch by Ferguson. And everybody's saying, well, they need a tight end. No, this kid can play. You just got to get him the ball. Nice route by him. Dak trusted him. The only thing that I saw offensively that they kind of struggled with was still the running game, especially in the first half, right?
A little bit.
But
again,
they didn't try.
They didn't really lay on it, right?
Yeah. This, I talked to a few people because I'm like, is it me? And I like to reach out and touch several people. I don't, we don't. This is the problem we have as media. We think we're always right. We can't. I reach out and somebody told me, Nate, they didn't really try to run. Let's stop and think about this. First 4 plays, they had 3 sacks. But when the smoke cleared, did they go to the run? They continued to pass.
Right.
So it ain't like they tried to just pound the ball in there. Now, and so this is the game plan they went with. For the first time, I guess everybody wanted to hear the Cowboys quarterback talk. They turned the TV up loud, and we could all hear Dak talking and having fun. So this is the game plan. I think they wanted to throw the ball. I think they felt better with their receivers versus their secondary than just, hey, let's just pound the ball up in there and see what we can we get past 99 in his game. So I think this is what they wanted to do. They were very successful. But one thing I'm going to continue to say, and whether it's successful to win a game or not win a game, as long as Dak move around instinctively and do what he does, I think we'll be all right in every game.
You know, I say that about the run. They did have 102 yards in the end. And some of those carries toward the end were just to kind of burn clock, right? But the impressive thing was the drive. It was like 15, 16 plays. The one that went 90-some yards for the touchdown.
for 9 minutes and 50-some seconds.
They had the ball.
Just a really long drive there. Yeah.
I think it went 9 minutes and something.
Yeah, and that basically took the Rams.
17 plays, 9 minutes and 57 seconds.
It was the whole third quarter, basically. And they just kind of ground it out, right? And that was impressive. And so the point you made about Dak, I've been saying this all along. He needs to play football.
Yes.
It seemed like he was being so automated, yet, and everybody was making this big deal about getting the ball out in 2.3 seconds. I don't care how fast you get it out. Just get it out where it's got to go. And make sure you're going through your reads, right? And a little bit last week against the Chargers. I know they called a really good run play. It wasn't like, okay, he's running the ball a lot, but he was on the move instead of sitting in the pocket and just throwing the ball to throw the ball. And I think you see him throwing on the run like that. He's really effective. I just play football.
Yeah. When you're there at the game in Savannah, I mean, what are the fans thinking? I mean, you don't get to hear the fans. Just what are you thinking when you see this Dak versus the drop back Dak? What are your thoughts on that?
I think it goes week after week. I think he. Since we're going into week 9, I think, he was a little rocky at the start of the season. And I think he found, especially after the 49ers game, that he needed to step up just a little bit more, find those areas where he needs to move out of the pocket and make some of those runs. And I think it's been working the last couple of games. And I think that it was a great time for the bye week to come too, because I'm sure that was a topic of discussion is, how can we utilize Dak a little bit more to make those passes and to just move a little bit more, like you said, as a quarterback that just needs to be a quarterback.
Yeah, and I thought this was a coming out party for not only him, CeeDee, but this offense. Now, again, you didn't like the way it started, right?
That's right.
First and foremost, Tyron Smith had missed practice last week after he suffered the stinger on Thursday kind of in his neck. And they were very optimistic about him being able to play in the game. And I guess when they tested the strength in his shoulder before the game, the medical people said, And he was being stubborn, I'm told. He wanted to play. He said, I can go. And they were just like, no, we better let it calm down and rest. So Udoka gets in there, and the first play of the game, he gives up a sack at left tackle. But after that, they settled down, and the pass protection was much better than it did from the start. And so then Udoka gets hurt, sprained ankle. So now you're without your top two guys, and Awesome Richards had to go in and play. I think he ended up getting 11 snaps towards the end. When Jerry Jones was asked today about the injury report heading forward with the two left tackles, he said he thought it was more than likely that both guys would be available, meaning Tyron and Udoka would be available for the game on Sunday. And he said at the worst, one of the two should be good to go. So that's kind of good news because I just continue to think if they suffer a long-term injury over there, Tyler Smith's got to move out there. And I don't know how you feel about how you kind of...
Yeah, you put your hands up because I'm finna swing on you.
You don't want him out there.
Nah, let him become... This is what I want for this kid. Don't... Put him where he belongs. We did that with DaRon. Remember his first year, he was a rookie right tackle.
Right.
Then the next year, he played left tackle, and that was it. If he is our future left tackle, put him there and let that be it. Make adjustments elsewhere. If DaRon is going to be out for a long period of time, and if this, put him there.
Right.
I don't like the bouncing back and forth, because when you get into a big time game like we're going to play coming up, or a big time playoff game, that continuity means something. It means something, especially against the better teams. We can get away with it against the lesser teams, but the better teams in the league, they're gonna get you. You just pray it don't be that one or two plays at a key time in the moment in the game. Excuse me.
So you're with me.
Yeah, if they want to move him out there, move him out there. But if you move him,
leave him there. From
that day on, he never goes back inside. You know, I just believe that. Because he is too valuable a player. You know, I understand people like what they call it, position flex.
Yeah.
Nah, not with the offensive line. Unless injuries are so bad and devastating that you have to do that. But if they're not, don't do that. Don't do that. That's too valuable. Your quarterback going to pay for it. I'm telling you, in the long run, your quarterback will pay for it.
And I think we thought just with them getting their starting five out there that would solve everything. But those guys hadn't played that much.
And they're still banged up.
Right.
And then he gets banged up.
Yes.
So the continuity on the offensive line means something.
It means a whole lot. And I've been, you know, and I'm telling you, if you don't believe it, just go talk to Coach Solari. Say, Nate, always talking about continuity. He'll look at you like, and, you know, I'm serious. You know,
gotta hold the line together.
Oh, yes.
And even though it was only 2 weeks, and it wasn't a good 2 weeks, but that's only like 2 padded practices.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
And so, you know, it looked like you could finally get these guys together for 3 weeks, and then the DaRon injury comes up, and then you got to start making changes. They kind of got off to a false start, but I thought Adoga, not only did he pick it up, they started compensating, right? And putting the tight end over there, giving them some help, little double teams. And then I think things kind of smooth out. But we'll see how this week goes. It would be nice to have those starting five together again. And, you know, we forget that even Terrence Steele, he's coming back from an ACL.
That is one guy I'm not going to judge this year. I'm seeing what's happening to him. I'm seeing that it ain't always pretty. But this guy's back out there. He's fighting with everything he's got. He's got to get his flexibility back in that leg. And I'm not I refused to judge that kid Gallup last year. I'll judge him this year, but last year I wasn't judging this kid. You're talking about a major situation, you know. And so I'm not judging. I'll wait till next year, 4 games in.
Yeah.
You know, and I think I mentioned this on Friday. You know, after talking to Zach Martin on Thursday about just getting the 5 guys back together. And he goes, think about it this way. He goes, if you're doing radio and you're doing it with somebody you never did radio before, you're probably not comfortable. And he goes, that's kind of like what happens on the offensive line. We need to be there, the combo blocks, and get used to each other.
Yes.
So we'll see where that one goes, and it's going to be even more important this week having to face the
100%.
Eagles.
I just hope we play Rico Dotto more.
And you want some power running from Dotto. And you know what?
You mentioned that last week too, yeah.
And I'm with you, Nate. He got 5 carries, but he had, 18 yards. It probably wasn't enough. But they didn't run the ball that much. He had 5 carries, and Pollard had 12.
So that tells me they was not trying to run the ball.
Yeah.
They was not,
The passing was working for them.
Yes.
And they saw that, and they just kept rolling with it.
That's Savannah, Nate, Mickey, and we'll continue with Mick shots here in a moment.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
You know that sound anywhere. It's the crisp crunch of that first nacho chip. With its perfect cheese to sour cream ratio sitting atop a layer of delicious beans, it's a sip away from perfection. That's what we're looking for. Add a delicious, refreshing Pepsi and we've achieved absolute nacho nirvana. Because while you can pile those nachos high with every spicy, cheesy, savory topping, there's no topping a cool Pepsi finish. Nachos, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
Cowboys football and Miller Lite. What a pairing. Can cracks at kickoff. Tailgates going way past postgame. Sunday night overtimes followed by Monday morning swagger. Brisket in the smoker. Miller Lite in the cooler. America's team playing America's greatest sport. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys football tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2023 Miller Brewing Company, Fort Worth, Texas.
Back to Mick Shots.
K-Post Roofing and Waterproofing, the official roofer of the Dallas Cowboys.
And we are back on Mick Shots with Mickey, Nate, and Savannah as we go through with a kind of a change-up lineup here. Not bad, though.
Oh, yeah, I got you for 6
Nate
innings.
here,
I got you for 6 innings.
Got 6 innings out of Nate.
Exactly.
We'll get 4 out of Savannah.
Yeah.
We may end up going extra innings, right? But so anyway, we kind of broke down the game. How about special teams? I guess you never realize it until you realize it, right?
Yeah.
The way those guys played. Sam Williams with a blocked punt. I told him after the game, I said, you blocked it so badly, or good, however you want to say it, that you knocked the ball out of the end zone. That's how free he came, and it ended up being a safety. Then they've got to kick, and Turpin returns the kick 63 yards.
That was so great.
Right? And set them up for an easy touchdown. They get 9 points in less than a minute. That was huge. You get the kicker to make 2 more consecutive field goals to give him 18, and now he's tied for the NFL record to start a career on most consecutively made field goals.
He was my click to pick.
He
last
was, wasn't
Friday,
he?
and I was so happy.
We just had to
Brandon Aubrey.
bring that up. Did any of the other of us get anything right?
Let me look. Honestly, so Bill was the closest in points. He thought it would be 37-7.
Oh, wow.
Cowboys. So, I mean, all the rest of us predicted a very, very close margin.
Yeah, I think I did 20-7. 27-20.
You did 27-20. And yeah, I got the click to pick, but
Yeah.
Bill was closest in
Yeah,
points.
my pick to click did not click. I think I said it was going to be Dante Fowler.
You did, yeah.
Yeah. I should have picked Sam Williams. But yeah, the special teams, and they've had to compensate now for the loss of C.J. Goodwin, right? And then because they lost Leighton Vander Esch, Damone Clark hasn't played as much on special teams. And I was looking at snaps, and the guys on special teams that ended up playing the most, and I've got this, if I can turn this page here, 77% of the special teams snaps ended up being Jawan Thomas, Nathaniel Wright, Mukwamu, and Tyrus Wheat. And by the way, they finally got Rashawn Evans on the field, the veteran linebacker that they signed.
Oh, he played?
He ended up with 7 defensive snaps, but 43% on special teams.
That's great.
So that's pretty good for a veteran guy, right, that's been in the league a while to play that many special team snaps. So, yeah, the special teams, I thought, and they almost had another touchdown. It would have been, 87 yards, Turpin's return that got called back because Nashawn Wright got for holding that he didn't need to hold because that guy was never going to be in the play. But, yeah, they really stood out. And when you get points on all three phases, you're doing a pretty good job, which brings me to DaRon Bland. What is it about some guys that just the ball is there for?
I talked to Coach Al Harris just the other week, man, and there, a lot of coaching staffs like to cater to their defenses. What I mean by that is you need to be here, you need to be there, you need to line up here. These are your keys. Watch this here. But I think with Coach Quinn and Coach Al Harris, they go a step further.
Right.
And they're like, hey, man, this guy likes to do this. And if you get an opportunity, you got to make that play. And Bland is eating it up. Whenever it's a chance to make a play, he's there. And he does a great job. He don't compromise his position on the receiver. He don't peek too much at the quarterback as a cornerback, because a lot of guys get in an angle where they can look at that quarterback and a double move or a quick move can sometimes catch him off guard. But this guy kind of keeps himself in position, and when the play's there, he just takes advantage of it. And then Coach Al Harris said, he kind of teaches that. He wants his guys, if the play is there, go get the play, Now, the bigger you are, and I mean Bland is becoming a big-time thing, so the bigger you are, the more chances you are allowed to take. Now, he don't tell every guy this. He don't say, hey, Nate, if that play, because Nate can't get there. I don't care if he start, 2 weeks from now, I still wouldn't get there. So, but some players – You begin to trust because they understand your defense, right? And they got the ability to make the play, and he's just one of those guys that can.
I noticed on that play, they lined up two wide receivers to the left.
They stacked, and Kupp was inside, and they were going to be in man. But what Bland needed to do was be patient because Kupp waited and then cut underneath and went out. And he didn't gamble. He saw what was coming. Yeah.
And he said, okay, I got this, baby.
Well, normally what Kupp was trying to do when the other guy broke inside, what he was trying to do was get a pick.
Yes.
An air pick. What he was trying to do was make this guy that cut the DB that cut his guy off, and he was hoping he would go over top. And he couldn't get back. It's just an air pick. He couldn't get back. But he faked like he was finna go out there and just shot underneath. I'm like, okay, you played the play, bro. You tricked the tricker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, wow, it was nice because they was normally that second DB gets burned on that stacked look, but he played it right.
He was patient,
right? Yes, sir. He played it right.
And he waited till they cleared, and he said, okay, I'm going here. So at fourth interception this year, third in his career, returned for a touchdown, which is rather amazing how he just finds the ball. I believe now he's second in interceptions in the league.
With 4. The other guy got 6.
5 or 6, I think.
Yeah, I think the other guy got 6.
And so, when everybody's worrying about what they were going to do without Diggs, now what happens when you lose a guy like Diggs? Now you're one less in the depth of that cornerback position.
And I think it puts you. I think it hurts your pass rush too. Because what Diggs and all those other guys were doing, they were jumping routes. They was taking away that first move. And for every time that quarterback has to go to another read, that gives your defense another step coming towards you. Now quarterbacks, over time will get a little bit more. I didn't know how valuable Diggs was, but I see now because I was telling the guys on our show, what if Diggs was still here and Bland was getting better and better because he was already a great slot corner. What if he was still that slot corner?
Yeah.
how nasty this thing would be. And our sack total, I believe, would be up by 2 or 3 more sacks.
So you think that's affected?
Yes, sir.
The pass, or
yes,
not
sir.
Affected the pass rush, but it's not as potent because
I'm telling you,
the coverage.
It all connects. Once you get a super defensive backfield that can take away that first option, because Al Harris is showing them, hey, this is what the quarterback looking at. If you can jump that first option and he goes to that next one, that's DaRon Bland. You go from your outside guy, you look at your slot, then you go over to your tight end or somewhere. Well, that guy ain't there either.
Yeah.
Now, you think Michael Parsons ain't about there by the end? Michael Parsons is about there. And all we need to do is for Sam Williams to really, really lock in on football all the time during football season, and he could be a beast.
Right.
So I have a fun stat that I read for DaRon Bland. So his 3 pick sixes, he has caught more passes for a touchdown than Devonta Smith, T. Higgins, Tyler Lockett, Jalen Waddle, and Calvin Ridley this season.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing, huh? And you know what? And if you looked at what opposing quarterbacks were doing, they were starting to pick on Jordan Lewis out of the slot.
Right.
Now, I think the more he's played, he's kind of getting back to where he was before he suffered the injury last year. So it's a pretty darn good threesome. But again, after that, you better not suffer another injury, because then you're down to right. And even, in training camp when they had some injuries, C.J. Goodwin was playing a little more corner than they had. I asked about Eric Scott, and I was told just not quite ready yet. The guy they traded up for in the 6th round to draft. So Baltimore's Stone, and sorry I don't know his first name, he leads the league with 5 interceptions. But Bland with 3 touchdowns on interceptions. Think about this. All these guys are ranked in the top, I don't know, they've got about 30 guys, right? Nobody has more than 1 interception for a touchdown. And one of them, by the way, is Slade, Philadelphia.
Big play, Slade.
And then Brown in Seattle has 1, and that's it. So just think of the magnitude that what he's doing so far. And I know one of the balls was tipped, the first one, but he's by the football. It's just amazing.
You know what? I promise you, the fans that didn't see it ain't asking, was the ball tipped?
Yeah. They don't care about that.
That's why I tell you about wins. At the end of the year, if you happen to be 12 or 13 wins, ain't nobody coming. But you know what? Back on September this day, that boy did. I didn't think about that. Win the game, get the interception, make the play.
Mm-hmm. And that's what the Cowboys did offensively. Defensively, they only had 1 lapse defensively, the end of the first half and the beginning of the second half, when the Rams doubled up and got within 2 scores. And then came that 90-some yard drive, right, that ate up the whole third quarter.
17 plays, 9 minutes, and 57 seconds. I love that.
It's a long one.
He's got it memorized, too, by the way.
That's discipline. That's discipline. That, being disciplined, not having a lot of penalties, not hurting yourself. That's discipline. We back in our day, and I don't like to talk about our day, but my day rather. But we would hurt folks. And late in that third or beginning of that fourth or late in that fourth, we would crush folks for 8-minute drives. Mm-hmm. Yes. That take the life. You can just see the defensive lineman like, they looking at the DBs.
Like, again?
The DBs looking at them. You be like, and you just be sitting there just smiling like,
well,
don't matter you got those sacks early, do it now. It don't really matter anymore, does it?
Like that Cowboys offense, we just ate up this second segment right now. So we'll be back on Mick Shots in a moment.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
Cowboys football and Miller Lite. What a pairing. Can cracks at kickoff. Tailgates going way past postgame. Sunday night overtimes followed by Monday morning swagger. Brisket in the smoker. Miller Lite in the cooler. America's team playing America's greatest sport. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys football tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2023 Miller Brewing Company, Fort Worth, Texas.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
You know that sound anywhere. It's the crisp crunch of that first nacho chip. With its perfect cheese to sour cream ratio sitting atop a layer of delicious beans, it's a sip away from perfection. That's what we're looking for. Add a delicious, refreshing Pepsi and we've achieved absolute nacho nirvana. Because while you can pile those nachos high with every spicy, cheesy, savory topping, there's no topping a cool Pepsi finish. Nachos, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Back to Mick Shots.
Your Dallas Cowboys head to Philly to take on the Eagles in Week 9. On November 5th, come out to Miller Lite House at AT&T Stadium for a free watch party presented by 7-Eleven. Cheer on the boys alongside the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders and rowdy while enjoying $5 Miller Lites, food trucks, and more. Gates open at 2 p.m. and kickoff is at 3:25. For more information and to claim your free watch party ticket, visit dallascowboys.com/watch party. Go Cowboys.
You want to go out to the watch party?
No, I'll be here.
You got a little work to do?
Yeah, I do some work, man. I tell you like this right here. This game here should be fun, but this is where I'm talking about this upcoming game. This is where my nightmare may be coming to my doorstep. Because I've been trying to preach to everyone about center guard play and how it makes it easier for your tackles. This week here, our tackles may have to stand alone because they got 3 men in the middle that are beasts. You know,
can't give the outside guys any help.
The nightmare to the doorstep.
Yeah, my nightmare is coming to my doorstep, man. Halloween a week late.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
You got their depth chart there, don't you?
Yeah. It's Jalen Carter,
know by heart,
Jordan Davis, and Fletcher Cox. And then they hot sauce is a guy named Hassan Reddick. That's their hot sauce. And when they get too sweaty, they got one of those to wipe off too. So come on, man. If you don't know these animals, you will. It's wow.
So, Nate, you asked me the week of the 49ers game. You said, is this game a test or is this game a challenge?
Yes.
What do you think?
This is a challenge. This is an NFC East. I'm listening to every show. Oh, we beat the Eagles this, and this. I understand, y'all. But one thing they have on us, they have played and conquered. Now, we have played in adverse games, but we have not conquered. They have played in adverse games, and they have conquered. We have to know that adversity is going to be coming around every corner. And we got a little bit early against the Rams, but we overcame it real quick. We got it against the 49ers with the bad call against Curse, and we didn't overcome it. We're going to have a bad call or two in this game. Mm-hmm. We got to overcome it. Adversity is a part of the game. And to me, I understand that Coach McCarthy could not go deep when game over. He had to treat the 49ers game over. He may have to treat this game like this too, but the difference is you will see them again. So game just can't be over. Go out there and be your best and whatever happens, we'll live with it. But don't let them catch you napping. Don't let them catch you napping, you know?
And this was the game that I was hoping for last year in the playoffs.
Yes.
Because if you think about it, the first game when Philadelphia beat the Cowboys 26-17, Dak Prescott didn't play.
That's right.
And was that at home or away?
That was the
at home.
That was at home.
That was the away game.
That was the away game.
Away game. Okay.
And Cooper Rush was the quarterback, and with halfway through the fourth quarter, it was 2017. By the way, before Philadelphia scored that touchdown late with like 7 minutes to go in the game. Then it reversed when they played here. Because Jalen Hurts didn't play, but
That's right.
Dak played.
That's right. That's right.
And
Yes,
the
sir.
Cowboys ended up beating them 40-34. The game was tied 34-34. The Cowboys drove for a field goal, 48 yards from some guy named Maher.
Yeah.
and then Bland had an interception right after that, and they kicked another field goal and got it to 40-34. So I was thinking, okay, now, how about we get in the playoffs and Hurts and Dak go at each other in the same game? Well, this is the next chance that those two guys get to play against each other. It's up there. That place will be rocking, I guarantee you. But again, one of the good things that happened to the Cowboys in this last game, and I thoroughly believe this, to make the Cowboys' defense better, they have to get off to a good start and score points, which they did against the Rams. Scored on their first couple possessions in that game, and you make the other quarterback play from behind. And we've seen now at San Francisco, kind of on a downslide here, when Brock Purdy has to play from behind, he has struggled. So, again, get off to a good start. And by the way, we didn't mention this, today's the trade deadline, 3 p.m. Central Time.
Who cares?
And Jerry Jones said that he didn't see anything in the works. That doesn't mean nothing can pop up. But as he pointed out, these trades can't just go down in 1 hour because you've got so many things to adjust when it comes to contracts.
He can ask for an extension on. Look
An
here,
extension,
it's going to be
go to
70. It's
4
going to be
o'clock.
65 degrees Sunday. let me say this right here. Trades don't make your team. I'm being honest.
Yeah, no, you're right.
What we need will cost too much. We need a show enough bona fide offensive lineman. Do you know teams that say, okay, I'll give you this guy.
Yeah.
Give me a first. Give me a first. Give me a third. And plus, his contract up this year.
Right.
It's cost,
Because that's why he's available for the trade.
So
right?
go out there and get Awesome Richards right. Go out there and get a Doga right until the end of the season. Okay, now we may need a bona fide, show enough go-getter defensive lineman. You can have him. You're going to give me a second. You're going to give me a fifth. And by the way, he's in his 5th year, so you're going to have to pay him.
Isn't that what
That's too much, man.
the Giants got
too costly.
for Williams?
Yes.
Like a second and a fifth?
Yes. So you don't worry about it. Just coach what you got. Ask the guys to study a little harder and be a little bit meaner. Now, the one guy that I want him to go get, I can't mention his name, but he would cost too much. So let it go. We already got the guy, and his name is Rico Dowdle. Give him the ball.
You heard it here from Nate.
Oh, wow.
Rico Dowdle.
Yes.
And, and you're right. And to me, if somebody was giving me a sweetheart deal on a cornerback, I'd be okay with that. Because
that ain't going to come free.
And it's not,
Yeah.
right? But again, it's not for now, it's for next year, right? Because your Diggs is coming back off his ACL, right?
And he'll go right back to his position.
Jordan Lewis is
Your slot.
in his last year this year.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, I'm already going to put it together. Gilmore will be
1 year deal, though.
Yeah, he'll be gone.
Right.
He'll be a backup because you moving Bland to the other side if we can get Lewis. Now you got your 3 horses.
Yeah, there you go.
But if something go with Lewis, then you got the best slot corner in the game.
Right.
And Bland, now we say, hey, Gilmore, I'm sorry they said that on Mick shots. Can you come back? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, can I get one more year from you?
Yeah.
But again, if you had an opportunity now at a corner and somebody was just trying to unload him,
yes,
then it's like, okay, I can deal with that.
Yes.
And as long as the money's right and they're not asking for a first-round pick.
This team, I went through the up and down, but I come to my senses. This team has not lost nothing. From training camp to now, we lost Diggs. Now, that's a big loss. Mm-hmm. But we've not lost nothing. We still have a shot at the NFC Championship game. We have not lost enough where we don't have a shot at the end. What's amazing me is the 49ers beat us to death but put too much into us because they seem to can't get themselves back going. Mm-hmm. You know, they riding on their laurels. Yeah. So now we're the second best team in the NFC. It's us in Detroit fighting for the second best. And if things go right, we'll be in the power rankings in number 1. I don't do power rankings. I'm talking about in my mind because I'm a Cowboy fan. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's a good one. And and the other loss they've had, it's temporary, was Leighton Vander Esch. Mm-hmm. They've played with him. They got to play with him 2 more games. But Marquise Bell has stepped up in that linebacker spot, and in these 2 games that he's played more than 50% of the snaps, he's finished second in each game in the number of tackles. He had 7 last week to Damone Clark had 8, and this week he had 6 to whoever had 7.
Let me say this
so
right
he's
here.
been pretty good.
He's been great.
Right Miss Savannah, trust big fat guy when he tell you this. It ain't about Leighton Vander Esch. It ain't about Bell, and I love him. It ain't about Clark. It's about Hankins. It's about Gallimore, and it's about Mozzie.
How about Osa?
Yeah. Well, Osa, he's in a class by himself. He's coming. I just need him to be a little bit more consistent. I need him to be a little bit more consistent because he'll pop 3 or 4 big plays, and then he'll become a guy. You can't. He's better than that. If these 4 guys play, it don't matter who at the linebacker. Trust me when I tell you that, because when you have a front,
they're making those stops.
That's what I'm saying. Right. So now we finna come into a team that's got a running game, and they gonna run. Mm-hmm. Now we have to
shut down the Eagles' run game.
It don't matter. It's them 4 guys that I mentioned. They gonna make the difference.
Good point.
Yes.
Honestly.
And by the way, I was just going to double check because I thought Mozzie's snaps have increased. He had 18 in this last game, and I think he even had a tackle. I heard his name.
Saw him. I saw the tackle. I saw it. I'm like, okay, Mozzie, okay. My thing is, let's panic. I'm all about it. I'm all about it. When we don't win, I go on TV and I'll say nice things, and then me and my wife will get home and we'll just eat the Cowboys alive. Oh, I'm a fan. I've been one since I was 11 years old. So, I go up and down. You know? So, but the reality is, we're 5-2. I'm correct. Who else is 5-2? There's only one team 6-1.
7-1.
7-1. So who else?
There's 6 teams, including the Cowboys right now, with no more than 2 losses.
Thank you.
And Lions are 6-2, right?
Yeah, they won last night.
Or 6-2.
So come on now.
We need to save some of that for tomorrow because the same threesome will be back here on Mick Shots.
Wow, I'm on again tomorrow?
You are on again tomorrow.
Where's Everson?
And he said he was out for 3 days.
Come on, Everson.
He's back in New Mexico.
Yeah, right.
Everson,
he
hides out in New Mexico. You know where the spaceships land? I think he has something to do with some of that stuff.
Wow, that's in New Mexico, the spaceships.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. producer Supreme has allowed us to go overtime here. Almost.
That's all right.
5
Going
minutes.
into my show, we good.
You good? Yeah. Now you're warmed up. See, we warmed you
We got
up.
you
Now you're
going.
going to have a heck of a show.
One seat over.
All right, Savannah, thanks. We'll be back tomorrow on Mick Shots here on DallasCowboys.com.
Thank you.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club. How about this, Cowboys?